Welcome to another edition of the Furry Files. I'm your host, AvivA Hoffmann, and we're at the DeKalb County Government Administration Building in Decatur, where you're going to hear a lot of hustle and bustle of all the downtown Decatur activity. Now, this show is dedicated to animals and the people who help support them, and we've got a lot in store for you on this edition, including the story of how DeKalb County officially marks a celebration of life for some of our most beloved pets. Plus, find out where you're likely to see some of the best bird watching in DeKalb. And we bring you the story of Flower Button, a dog neglected and abandoned in DeKalb County who's beating the odds. That and more. But first, we have the story of a DeKalb police team that's back together again. K9 Officer Indy has officially returned to active duty. This comes 3 months after a suspect shot the four-legged officer in the head.
What went through my mind immediately was he was dead. Seconds later, I scanned and saw him sitting there, panting, tongue hanging out. So immediately you go from terror to maybe we can work with this.
On December 13th, 2018, K9 Indy and his partner, Master Police Officer Norman Larson, tracked down a suspect accused of fatally shooting Officer Edgar Flores after a traffic stop on Candler Road.
They located him behind a building with stacks of tires. He was strategically concealed in a position where he could ambush responding officers. K9 Indy engaged with the suspect, and the suspect shot K9 Indy in the head. Indy retreated, officers returned fire, killing the suspect.
Officer Larson says Indy gave his team critical additional seconds, ultimately playing a key role in tracking down that suspect. Without Indy, he believes they would have had more fatalities.
In the blink of an eye, it's over. Or it could be over. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. He made sure that day that I was at least guaranteed tomorrow, the next day.
Indy lost his right eye, but has made a remarkable recovery. After spending a few days at a veterinary clinic in Sandy Springs, Indy walked out to cheers and encouragement from an enthusiastic crowd. Officer Larson knew in his heart that Indy would eventually return to work. Like most of his breed, Indy's truly happiest when he's on a mission. The DeKalb Police Department conducted a thorough recertification test to ensure Indy was ready to return to work.
The real reward to him is let me go back to work. We're going to do that here, and we have the blessing, and it feels good.
Indy attended part of the funeral for Officer Flores at All Saints Catholic Church in Dunwoody, even receiving a standing ovation during that brief but touching appearance. Partners for more than 6 years, Officer Larson and Indy are responsible for 230 arrests, 76 apprehensions, and the seizure of illegal drugs valued at $3.7 million. Indy even helped nab a suspect involved in a brutal home invasion in 2016. Over the years, and since the December shootout, this police duo has received several awards and recognition for their courageous service. In January, they were honored at a statewide symposium for K9 police handlers held in Forsyth, Georgia.
It's really not a surprise that they'd be recognized for something like this. And I think it's really probably something extremely positive coming out of something horrifically tragic.
We wanted to honor not only Officer Flores, but Officer Larson and Officer Indy for their bravery.
The DeKalb Police Department also honored fallen Officer Flores in March. In conjunction with Indy returning to work, the K9 officer received 2 very prestigious awards, the Medal of Honor and the Purple Heart. Officer Larson received the Exceptional Merit Award. Indy took it all in stride, even checking to see if his new medals were edible.
This is heartwarming and touching. You go to work day to day, you don't realize the amount of support in the community for these dogs, and us as well.
Obviously it's a solemn day, it's an important day, but historic day in the life of DeKalb County as we honor the brave officers both on 2 legs and 4 legs.
We are so thankful Officers Larson and Indy are officially together again, doing what they do best to make this county a little safer. Now it's time for our Furry Files Fun Fact segment that you'll see throughout this show. We're welcoming Animal Control Officer Alexandria Davis for our first fact. And this one is about an animal that, thankfully, most of us have never seen up close. Officer Davis?
Thanks, AvivA. A unique finding took place recently requiring help from the DeKalb County Animal Service Department. An alligator was located in Lithonia in someone's backyard. After further investigation, Animal Control discovered that the alligator was someone's pet and possibly brought from Florida. The alligator was safely transported to a Ware Wildlife Center in Lithonia. What to do when you encounter an alligator? Give the alligator space. If you see an alligator in the water, do not go near the water. If you are in close proximity of an alligator, back off, run away in a straight line. The zigzag method is only a myth. Did you know that alligators can run up to 35 miles per hour? Alligators are extremely fast. That's your Furry Files Fun Fact. With me, Officer Davis, back to you, AvivA.
Thanks, Officer Davis. I sure hope I don't have to outrun a gator. But still, good to know all of your fun facts. We'll check in with Officer Davis again a little later in the show for more Furry File fun facts. And we have lots more in store for you on this edition of the Furry Files, including an animal celebration for some of our special pets that have crossed the rainbow. That and more, stay with us. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you along on this edition of the Furry Files. I'm your host, AvivA Hoffmann. In our first segment, we saw the incredible story of K9 Officer Indy and his partner, Officer Larson, back on the job, working hard. This next story is about a pretty unique event to honor animals that serve more as our pets. Each year, Paws, Whiskers, and Wags holds an inspiring pet celebration to honor some exceptional animals that made a big impact in the lives of their human companions.
We help thousands and thousands of pet owners every year say goodbye to their pets, and this is a celebration of their life. It's a big giant funeral for all the pets we said goodbye to the previous year in 2018.
In its 14th year, this event continues to grow. Participants gather at this annual celebration to remember the irreplaceable role pets have played in their lives. One highlight includes a special video tribute showcasing some favorite pet pictures.
I wanted to say thank you to all of you that sent us photos. Many of you shared so many wonderful stories about your furry family members, and I have to tell you that we read each and every one.
This year's celebration featured keynote speaker Dr. Will Draper. He's cared for animals for nearly 3 decades, and over the years, Dr. Draper has helped a lot of animals at their end-of-life stage, including one dog's journey that he'll never forget.
It was an ominous day. It was, overcast. It just wasn't a beautiful day, but they wanted Birdie to be in the front yard where he liked the sun. So that's what we did, and as soon as Birdie took his last breath, the sky opened up, the sun came down, and it had misted a bit, so this rainbow came that seemed to hit right in the yard. And, I just, on that cue, just looked at them and said, Birdie's telling you everything's okay. He's fine.
During part of the pet celebration ceremony, participants held candles and said their final goodbyes before a moment of silence.
Bless all those wonderful pets that have given us such unconditional love that we would have rather known life with them in it than not have them at all.
Many pet owners say they're grateful for this ceremony and take comfort in spending time in this formal way, celebrating the life of their special pet.
We commemorate and believe in and say goodbye when we lose a human family member, but we all know that our four-legged family members are also as equally as important. And oftentimes the opportunity to say goodbye, to grieve, to commemorate, we don't get those chances.
This event really is special for so many grieving the loss of a special animal in their life. To find out more about this annual pet celebration or how you can submit an image to share at the next Pet Celebration slideshow, contact the Decatur location of Paws, Whiskers and Wags at 404-609-1072. Now it's time to check in again with Officer Davis for another Furry Files fun fact. And the featured animal she has this time around has an amazing sense of hearing. Officer Davis?
Thanks, Aviva. A DeKalb County Animal Control officer had an interesting call about a fox in a residential area. The fox was found hanging by his arm in someone's backyard on a fence in Decatur. The fox was safely transported to the Aware Wildlife Center. Foxes have a natural fear of humans unless they learn to associate humans to food due to people feeding them. Also, foxes are easily scared away from loud noises like clapping, whistling, and yelling. Foxes prey on small animals and livestock, so be sure to keep your beloved pet safely secured. Did you know that a fox can hear a clock tick from 40 yards away, which is equivalent to 48 steps? That wraps up another Furry Files fun fact. I'm Officer Davis. Back to you, Aviva.
Thank you, Officer Davis. I'm glad that fox was taken to the Aware Wildlife Center where he or she will get some really good care before being released back into the wild again. Now, more of the Furry Files on the way right after this. Welcome back to the Furry Files. I'm your host, AvivA Hoffmann. A DeKalb County park is soaring to new heights with a prestigious designation from an organization committed to building and preserving places where birds and people thrive. DCTV's Crystal Thomas has more.
Thanks, Aviva. We're here at Briar Lake Forest Park, where they were recently recognized by the Atlanta Audubon Society for becoming a certified wildlife sanctuary for birds. Let's take a look.
We're just blown away, not only by the value of this property and the beauty of it, but by the community effort that it took to get it preserved.
It's really a testament to the hard work and early visionary process that the neighborhood has come together and they've stuck together and they've made great things like this happen.
We have identified 26 species of birds on this property, and we maintain them and we feed them and we take care of them because they're important to this community.
Other factors considered in the sanctuary designation at the 21-acre old-growth forest located near North Lake Mall include having bird shelters, a bird bath, a water source, and a proper habitat for the birds. Additionally, there was heavy community involvement.
We've got community members that feed the birds on a weekly basis in the bird feeders that we provided all along the property. We have got sanctuary property habitat in the trees and also in the bushes and in the shrubbery and also in the plants that we put in here, specific plants that attract birds and butterflies as well.
The certification process took about 6 to 8 months with a collaborative effort between the Atlanta Audubon Society and the Friends of Briar Lake Forest. The Friends group has worked tirelessly to protect and restore this area. The Wildlife Sanctuary recognition benefits DeKalb County as well as surrounding areas.
It really creates absolutely critical habitat for wildlife in the city, and it creates connectivity between our larger green spaces like Briar Lake Forest. And it is parks like this that are just so critical and so wonderful in providing resources right in the city.
Special signs noting the Wildlife Sanctuary designation are being placed at each park entrance, so more people can recognize and tweet the praises of this great slice of nature.
Now you can certainly hear the birds chirping behind me with excitement, and this is a testament to the great things the DeKalb County Park System is doing to help protect our natural resources, environments, and to protect our animals. Crystal Thomas, the Furry Files.
Thanks, Crystal. Now we know why Briar Lake Forest Park brings music to everyone's ears. Now, it's time to check in again with Officer Davis, who has another Furry Files fun fact for us. This one to tell us what we pet owners have in common with some big-time celebrities. Officer Davis?
Thanks, Aviva. A well-known celebrity by the name of Kylie Jenner adopted a Chihuahua Dachshund mix canine earlier this year by the name of Wesley. Taylor Swift also recently added another furry friend to her family. The singer adopted a kitten after it was featured in her new music video, Me. Actor Hilary Duff is now mom to 2 kids and 1 alpaca. And we're told, despite wearing cat ears on a regular basis, Ariana Grande is actually a huge dog person. Lots of celebrities have a special pet as part of their family. You too can adopt a dog and many other furry animals at our local DeKalb Animal Shelter, located at 3280 Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, across the street from the DeKalb Peachtree Airport. For more information, visit the website at DeKalbAnimalServices.com or call 404-294-2996. That's going to do it for your Furry Files Fun Facts. With me, Officer Davis. Back to you, AvivA.
Thank you, Officer Davis. Great fun facts throughout this show. And we'll look forward to more Furry Files Fun Facts in our next show. Now coming up, we're sharing the story of how a starved dog left alone tied to a tree in the woods is beating all the odds. That's coming up. Welcome back to the Furry Files. I'm your host, AvivA Hoffmann. Our next story is about a very special dog. Before she got her new name, there's no doubt Flower Button had endured major hardships. DCTV's director, Diamond Lewis, has this story of Flower Button's rescue and remarkable recovery.
Tied up to a tree and left to die. This pooch is now beating all the odds, blossoming into a happy, healthy canine. Flower Button is doing well thanks to a good Samaritan and the good care she's received at DeKalb County's animal shelter. Flower Button was abandoned in the woods more than the length of 4.5 football fields away from the main entrance to Arabia Mountain Nature Preserve in Lithonia.
Severely emaciated, underweight, possibly dehydrated, and malnourished.
Luckily, Flower Button was discovered just in time. Animal control officers responded to a call from a concerned citizen who was hiking in the area. The dog had a brand new leash and white sweater, but it was clear she needed help.
Maybe they were hoping, let's tie this dog up and someone like the good citizen that found it will find it and take it home and that'll be it. But, a lot of times it doesn't happen.
Unfortunately, the person that wanted to abandon Flower Button chose to go off the beaten path down the more naturist trail where there's a little bit more terrain and length away from commonly being found if you were lost in the woods.
The poor pup weighed just 29 pounds. A normal weight for this dog would fall between 45 and 55 pounds. Officer Harper established that this dog had not eaten an appropriate meal in a long time, with only what seemed to be a nut of some kind in her system when he found her.
And it took a few minutes to actually observe her, photograph her, the surrounding terrain that she was in, trying to gather any kind of evidence possible to obtain to potentially locate an owner or any other information regarding her health or where she came from.
If anybody's caught or if there's suspects identified in the case, then we will interview them and it'll be a whole investigation with them as to why this dog was in this condition and what happened, and then possibly looking at animal cruelty charges.
She was terrified. She was severely underweight, 30 pounds, I believe. Had an upper respiratory infection, coughing, nasal discharge, anemic, low thyroid. She also had something called Giardia, which is a little parasite that gives them severe diarrhea, causing more weight loss.
But that did not deter the good folks of Lifeline at the DeKalb County Animal Shelter. They immediately got her the right kinds of medicine, supplements, and food to slowly nurse her back to health and introduce proper nutrition into her system. Of course, they also gave Flower Button lots of love and attention as well.
This poor baby, thank goodness that she was found. First, she was given a name, Flower Button, just because she's precious.
According to Flower Button's medical record report, there's no question she has been well taken care of right here at DeKalb Animal Services. And in fact, as you can see, she's now happy, she's healthy, and has already gained nearly 20 pounds. And guess what? She's been cleared for adoption. Yes, you have. There's only a matter of time now until Flower Button here finds her forever home.
We know she'll come around. They all do. Once they learn they can trust you and you're not going to hurt them, they become your very best friend, and they are more grateful than any of the others. So she's going to make somebody a very lucky dog owner, I think.
Flower Button loves everybody that she meets. She is really just such a testament to the perseverance of dogs and how they can go through so much and still come out on top. She really hasn't met a stranger in this building. People will do awful things to animals all the time, but something else that I've also learned is that people will do amazing things to help animals, to provide treatment to animals that they don't even know or have no emotional attachment to. So just to see our community and our shelter come together to rally around Flower Button has been really great.
If you are struggling to provide proper care for your pet, do not abandon your animal to suffer an unknown fate. Learn what options are available.
The first step for a better life for you and the pet is to make that step and contact animal control or your local veterinarian humane societies to see what assistance is available.
DeKalb County Police continue the investigation into locating the person or persons responsible for abusing and abandoning Sweet Flower Button. If you have any information that can help us find justice for this beautiful, beautiful dog, please make sure you call the number on your screen. Diamond Lewis, the Furry Files.
Thanks, Diamond. We are so happy for Flower Button and her second chance for a better life. Now, there are plenty more animals at DeKalb's Animal Shelter that would love to be your best friend. Be sure to check out the animals ready for adoption right now. You can start with an online search at DeKalbAnimalServices.com/adoptapet, or you can visit in person at 3280 Chamblee Dunwoody Road in Chamblee. The shelter is open every day of the week, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on the weekends from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Perhaps you're looking to work closely with the animals at DeKalb's Animal Shelter. You can check online to see current job openings at the animal shelter at DeKalbAnimalServices.com/employment. Now, here are more websites and telephone numbers from our show. The number for the DeKalb County Animal Shelter customer service is 404-294-2949. The number for the Animal Adoptions Office is 404-294-2165. The homepage for DeKalb Animal Services is DeKalbAnimalServices.com. The telephone number for the Animal Services Field Enforcement Division is 404-294-2996, extension 2. To report a cruelty incident, call the Cruelty Report Hotline at 404-294-2939. Now we invite you to share your pet stories and pictures with us here at the Furry Files. Send email to furryfiles@DeKalbCountyGA.gov. We may include your story or picture in a future show. We're closing out this show with a look at some of our DeKalb County employees, friends, and family, and of course, their furry friends. Thanks for watching the Furry Files.